I hope everyone's been enjoying the music so far. We'll be back to it soon, but first, we get a chance to sit down with the band themselves, ValleyKiL. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're pretty good. We're pretty good.
Good to hear. Do you want to introduce yourselves for the people at home?
I'm MK.
I'm Ryan.
Okay, man.
I'm Max.
Nice. And then MK, you've been on the show before as a solo artist. But for the rest of you guys, this is your first time here, right?
Yeah, totally.
How do you guys appreciate the studio space?
Dude, this is awesome. This is
Pretty
awesome. Yeah, the lights
Yeah.
are killer shades next time for sure. Yeah, we're basement dwellers.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
this
Well,
is
yeah.
somewhat familiar, but
I haven't seen the sun in years.
too much bright.
Well, this is close enough. You know, if you stare into one of these overhead lights for long enough, you'll start getting spots in your eyes.
I can feel it.
You gotta love it.
This is great.
Yeah. Do you wanna? Okay, first off, I love the matching shirts, the Stones. Was there what made you guys decide to coordinate that for tonight?
Well, I mean, I was admiring Keith Richards and his way he looks like Hoggle from Labyrinth. I thought it'd be a fun way to celebrate him today.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's a respectable cause. I
Yeah.
can get behind that.
That is the best reason. Like there isn't. I was trying to think of something better.
It was specifically you guys were all on board because he looked like Hoggle from Labyrinth. Like, does that go for all of you, or is Max just speaking for himself?
That's Max. We just all had matching Stones shirts, so wanted to represent.
Might as well. Yeah.
We try and look like a band, so today the Rolling Stones is the key item.
I mean, you guys definitely did come off like a band, so it worked so far as that.
Yep.
So I am interested. How did you guys kind of start as a band? How long have you been going like this?
We first jammed in October 2023, and then Max started a family, and we had a spot holder for a little bit, and now Max is back in the band. So we started jamming in October 23, and our first show was August of 2024.
Solid.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I met MK at an open mic night at the Lakely, and I was a little inebriated, but I convinced her that we should make music together because I really liked her stuff, and it worked out pretty good, man.
Things just happen to work out at the Lakely. It's a lovely venue.
It sure is.
But yeah, and then how did the other two of you get in this?
You want this, Ryan, or should I do it? So Ryan and I decided we wanted to get in a band with a female vocalist, and we had some specificity to that. But MK has a tattoo on the back of her neck, and the rest is history.
What?
Is it? I'm sorry.
Take and finish the rest of the story.
We always had a dream of being in a '90s grunge band. Kevin and I, that's kind of our background, '90s grunge, and we wanted a female singer. I think that's a genre that was really awesome in the '90s. Kind of disappeared. We want to bring it back. We saw MK play live at the Brick House, and the moment I saw her up there, it was like, yeah, that's who we want to work with. So kind of stalked her at a couple shows, slipped her a set list at a reserve table, and kind of the rest is history. And then
Now the rest is history.
Yeah, but we have good chemistry, and that's what it takes, I think, to write original music. Is we're all we all have different backgrounds, but we all come together, and different tastes in music, different generations of music, But when you find that chemistry, you just have to go with it. And
Right.
It feels right. It works, and it becomes kind of effortless, and we have a lot of fun. So.
Yeah. You
Tons
just
of
gotta
fun. Yeah.
you just gotta send it.
Full sends.
Full send.
Full
We can
sends
get into
over
the
here.
background in a second, but do you guys do a lot of writing together?
That's all we do. We're like,
Yep.
we'll guess we'll learn covers, But
Yeah, we learn covers to kind of fill some time, but our passion is definitely originals, and we'll be putting out a full album for sure. We're gonna be around for a while, writing a lot of originals. So honestly, the writing for us actually comes easy it's pretty easy. She has ideas, I have ideas. He has, we all have our own ideas. We get together, throw them out there, and jam it a few times and see what happens. And
Yeah.
usually it's magic. It's pretty sweet.
Sorry.
No, hey,
I just had something to say. Actually, the first night we ever jammed, we wrote "Called Worse," which we played tonight. Yeah. Yep.
You described that as the only song we've all written.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if you meant to say first, or is it the only?
The only song we played tonight that all members have written together. Because we only played with Max for 6 months, and then he had his little babies.
Yes.
And so that was the song that we all wrote and that we all wrote first. So 2 truths at the same time.
Good to hear. You got more that you're working on right now, though?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. We've got several in the chamber.
We have a lot of material. We're just working on how do we get it out? We're working on getting it out, and that's kind of the hurdle. Like I said, writing for us actually does come pretty easy. It's all the other stuff that seems to be the hard work.
It's
actually getting recorded. So.
Oh, sorry.
I'll hold it for you. You hold it for me.
It's an important thing that I always feel like when we're like writing a bunch of material is to you got to probably get down the first set of ideas that you have done and maybe go through the process of getting them all produced and finished first, so that then they're there. You have them done. They don't fall by the wayside and get forgotten and lost in the mix.
Yeah.
Because when you're writing as much as we are right now, did we write a song? Oh, we did write that song. Oh, okay. Well, we should probably work on that one then. So.
Yeah.
We have a problem. We have too much material right now. But that's a great problem.
Yeah. That it's definitely better than the alternative.
Yeah. Or you're just struggling, can't think of ideas. We have too many ideas. We can't spit them out fast enough. And
yeah, I guess this is probably a question that'd be answered differently from each of you. But are these are they primarily like musical ideas, like a certain riff or like a beat in your head, or are they mostly like lyrical or vibes based?
Okay. Well.
yeah.
Usually, so I'll either have lyrics or rhythm guitar that I'll bring to the group, and then we form around that. I mean, you write licks every single night, so.
I'm a drummer, but I do write a lot.
Yeah.
I do write a lot of guitar stuff. So, no, we're so. But
I just brought that one song that I brought one back from the dead from an old band that I was in, and we started playing it together, and it completely evolved into something different just because of the different influences that we all have together.
Yeah.
So it's cool when you bring you can change the process, and you're still going to end up with a good result when you have a good core of people around you who want to write and are quite talented. So it makes it really, really fun.
Right. That's the lesson. It takes it back to the chemistry.
Well, it's called playing music, right? Playing music, so it's supposed to be fun.
Right. I mean, yeah, that definitely came through during the sets. So you guys describe yourselves as a Midwest grunge band. I guess, how is that distinguished from regular grunge?
He's got it. It's very melodic and dreamy licks. I feel like is the Midwest part.
Okay.
Almost like a dreamy lo-fi. I feel so when you describe like the Midwest genre, usually the intro will start with like a guitar lick and then a voicemail over it. You know, they always have like the speaking intros. But yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Like Midwest emo kind of thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he played in hardcore bands. K-Man's played in every kind of band. I cut my teeth on like pop punk and punk rock bands back in the day. So
Solid.
So bringing that in with a little bit, we have a little bit more of an intention towards something instead of just what pissed me off that day that I can write a song about. Like now we kind of have intention. So
Yeah.
And I think the grunge part, at least from us, is just the rawness of it. Especially in my vocals, it's the emotion is priority over technique, which there's a time to pick and choose between that, but yeah, I feel like the rawness of our sound is the driving force.
Right. Yeah, that definitely comes through. I feel like grunge generally, like you did mention, like emotion over technique. Grunge is known for having like really technically talented vocalists, but that's not what you remember about them. You remember Chris Cornell wailing his heart out, or Lane Staley, or any of them.
Mm-hmm.
It is good to see like a grunge or grunge adjacent band with a female vocalist though, because that wasn't a very common thing back then, and it still isn't now. Even now that grunge isn't much of a thing.
Well, it's common. It's just not mainstreamed.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the. Mm-hmm.
Makes
Courtney Love might have something to say about that.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll ask her when I get her on the show.
There you go.
Isn't she waiting for you right now?
In the car.
Yeah. Speaking of like your guys' history with playing though, have you guys have all been like playing in different bands for a long time?
Yeah.
I'm in a couple now. So is he. Yeah. But this is kind of the focus one right now.
Okay. Solid.
Yeah, most people will be like in a cover band and then maybe do an original project.
Yeah, like us three, we've been in cover bands for a couple years now. Me a bit longer, and then yeah, have you been in any cover bands? Nah.
Not a fan of that.
Ryan and I are in a band called Six Figure Sunrise that plays around the area.
Okay.
Did you go to band camp? So to speak, you went to band.
I did go to band camp. Played the saxophone.
That counts.
Yeah,
I think that
so.
counts.
Different kind of band camp this summer.
Yeah. Rock
202, 201. You know.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah. Well, you did play some covers tonight, so that you know at least some of what it's like to play in a cover band.
They made me. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess for the cover selections that you did have for tonight, I guess whose idea was it to put those in there, and why those songs?
We've had Boots in our set list for a while now. One of my favorite things to do, and I'm sure the guys as well, is to take a song and just rock it up. Like I love genre morphine, so that was really cool. And actually, Max just added Santeria to our set, and gosh, I love that song. I've been listening to that song.
It's a solid choice.
Yeah.
Speaking as someone who's wearing a Sublime shirt right now,
Right. I didn't even notice that. Oh my god, it's awesome.
it doesn't look much like a Sublime shirt. I got it from Spencer's. It's whatever.
Can we get a zoom on his shirt?
Could we?
Could we?
Hang on. We can't. We got the power of movie magic on our side.
Yeah, I thought that was Grateful Dead, and I've been to 28
So,
shows, so
To run it back to the interview, I did want to talk about influences a little more. One of my favorite things is, getting bands who are a combination of different influences from each member. So you mentioned a bit of like playing history, but I guess listening history. What does each person kind of bring to the table?
Go ahead and go first.
Oh, my background is obviously grunge, but guilty pleasures, I guess. Megadeth, Alice in Chains, some like West Coast kind of hardcore. I used to really be into like straight edge hardcore bands. There's one out in California called Drain right now that I'm really into.
So you're Fugazi man.
Oh yeah, Fugazi, yep. Of course, like Misfits, stuff like that. Everybody grew up on those guys, I think. Well, my age, anyways. But yeah.
So yeah, I saw the Grateful Dead 28 times, but I don't play
waiting
their music.
until
I'm more into 90s rock, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, that type of stuff.
Okay.
Let's see. Where to begin? Huge Stones fan. I also have a tattoo of the tongue on my arm, so I'm big fan. I also grew up in the pop punk scene because that was, I was born when the music you guys are talking about came out, so I'm sorry. But I grew up when
You're telling
pop
me.
punk took over the radio in the early 2000s, so I grew up listening to Taking Back Sunday and Story So Far, and also a lot of local West Coast hardcore bands. Like Poison Idea is a great punk band from Portland, and I'm from the Oregon coast, so I'm actually not from here. So I didn't really get into the Midwest emo thing until after pop punk started dying out again. I'm like, well, I'm going to go deeper, and discovered bands like Mineral and stuff like that.
Love Mineral.
Yeah, Mineral rips. So
Yeah. Did you discover Midwest emo before you came to the Midwest?
I sure did, just barely.
Is that what drew you here?
No, my wife is from here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life.
I would say most influence would be like hard hitting acoustic. So Matt Mason, Peach Pit, and like the pop more like Fall Out Boy. And then as far as harder rock when I was younger, it was Shine Down, Five Finger Death Punch. So kind of a mixing bowl of genres.
Yeah, it's a solid amalgamation here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Right.
It's a weird mix. But
We can write anything.
It works.
Play
it works.
anything.
So I guess is branching out into like different genres. You mentioned genre morphing. Is branching out like beyond kind of the scope of grunge, or even beyond the scope of like hardcore? Is that something you guys would be interested in the future, or you
Never
gotta-
say never. Yeah. We kind of have this pipe dream of collabing with like a hardcore hip hop artist. Like that would be
Okay.
really cool. Kind of like Linkin Park-esque, you know.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a sight to behold. I feel like.
I mean, I did do scream vocals in a punk band back in the day. So if we really wanted to get weird, we could really get weird with it. Yeah, we could get real strange if we wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should mix it up. Why not? Let's get crazy with this.
Might as well. I haven't had dirty vocalists like that on Sounds. You could come back.
Yeah, give us a year. We'll see what kind of dirt we can write.
You'll be a completely different band by then.
Maybe. You never know. Where this is going to morph to.
After this summer.
Do you want to talk more about that? What kind of
for
future
sure.
plans do you got?
I mean, we're pumped about Rockfest. We make our debut Rockfest performance Thursday night opening for Rob Zombie.
Oh, that's
So
huge.
we could not be more psyched. Yeah, and then shows. So we've got a couple shows in the cities in August, and then mainly local. We're just trying to build that dedicated fan support right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's important for a city that's as good for music as Eau Claire is. It's good to establish a foothold here. I feel like.
Yeah.
Good addition. Good
I
addition.
mean, what else? Yeah, I think that as far as shows, yeah. And then we're gonna be releasing music, so we'll have an EP before Rockfest called "Kill the Click." So that's another project we're working on at the moment.
Solid. Do you have any specific shows lined up here in Eau Claire or around that you want to shout out?
Oh, absolutely. We have a show in Chippewa at On the Rocks, and we open for the band Dead Amber. It's a great young punk band. Actually, they're pretty heavy. They're a bit more hardcore now
They
that I
rip.
think of it. They're amazing. So we're excited for that show. And then 2 weeks later, we open for American Hitmen as well.
Okay, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and-
could list all our shows, but we'd be here for for a while. Follow us on Instagram. You'll see us there.
Good call. Yeah, I guess where else can people find your music then? If they want to look online.
Yeah. All streaming, YouTube. We love doing like skits on Instagram to promote our music. So I feel like that's where we're the most entertaining. You know, we've got characters online.
We're fun to hang out with. I promise.
We got a couple tunes on iTunes as well.
On iTunes, solid. Yeah, and I guess for our last things before we close this interview out, any other lingering shout-outs or plugs that you guys want to make?
Hi, Mom.
Too many. I'll get in trouble. I can't right here.
Yeah. Yeah. He's already gotten in trouble.
Okay.
No, I think that's it. We're excited for Rockfest, and follow us online. Yeah.
Solid. Yeah, good to hear. Well, thank you guys very much for coming on the show, first of all, and then for, sitting down and talking this over. It's always great to talk about music.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thanks for
having
having us. ValleyKiL fits Sounds of the Valley, Yeah.
ValleyKiL fits Sounds of the Valley.
We'll talk legal, after the interview.
Of course. Yeah, we'll get that all sorted out. But in the meantime, for everyone else at home, don't touch that dial because it's right back to the music after this.